Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're showcasing another build for the Guillotine Cross, but this time a little bit more different. Now, those of you players who like to free to play or just don't want to spend any money on the game, this is probably the best video for you. What I'm talking about is basically having gear on your character that you can either farm through quests or create through the game's NPCs, and basically still have that damage input even though you don't spend any money on the game. Now, apart from my costumes, everything else that I'm wearing is crafted gear, requested gear. First off, we have the old Bone Circlet. Basically, it increases the cross impact damage by 15% every 2 refined levels. And I have the Angry Mantis card, which increases your critical damage as well. Now, important to note that this is a Nightmare Biolab headgear, which you can just craft if you have enough materials. Now, the fun thing about this is because you can also enchant it. Here we have the Acute level 5, which gives me 80% critical damage and 15 critical rate. Now, take note that this is a level 170 item, so you will have to be at a higher level to use this. Next, we have the Awakened Shiver Katar. Now, Awakened gears is basically your ancient hero gears that you can get from the Corridor Phantoms whenever the event pops up. And you can awaken them once you get them to +9 with the awakening material, which you can also get from the Corridor Phantoms. This one actually increases your cross impact damage, as well as the 2 True Aramis Guile cards that at this point increases my cross impact damage to 60%. So having both of them on there means I have 120% increase in cross impact damage. Next, we'll move on to the Grace set, or the Grace Assassin suit for now. Now, this is basically a little bit more generic. It increases your attack speed, increases your critical damage, but because cross impact uses critical damage in its damage calculation, this is actually the best option for you. Now we have the Angry Ninetales card, which increases the crit rate by 5, and your critical damage by 10%. If this were +10, you get an additional 10 critical rate, which I'll probably do in the future. Next, we have the Grace Mantue, or Grace Attack Mantue, which is basically something just generic. You actually just need it so that you can get all the set bonuses from the Grace Assassin suit. And we have the Petal card here to increase my critical damage by 2% for every 10 base luck. I have 126, so I'm getting 24% critical damage. Next are the Grace Attack boots. Again, pretty much generic. I can probably just take the attack 20. I don't really need the LRD or the reduced fixed casting time, but again, you will need this to get the bonuses for the Grace Assassin suit. Next, probably one of the most useful, the Grace Attack ring. It's only on the right side. You can get 10% of your critical damage, and I put the Gold Scaraba card on it to get +20 attack, just to give you that little attack boost. Next is something that you get from the Illusion quest, is the Illusion Booster L, or the left side. It basically gives you a 5% attack, but you can also enchant it with a number of enchants of your choice. So have 10% LRD, 10% attack speed, and the additional 10% critical damage and crit rate 4. So this is something, all of these are stuff that you can get through quests or stuff that you can craft or get through events. Now, my switch here is the Grace Rolling Suit, which I use for leveling. Basically increases your rolling cutter damage by, with the whole set, up to 30%. So it's good for mobbing. It's good when you're leveling those higher levels, when you're being mobbed by a lot of monsters. And here we have the Awakened Blade Katar, which increases your cross ripper, slasher, and rolling cutter damage by 25%. Now, I don't have any cards on this because I'm not too sure what I'm going to use, but significantly, I still use this for leveling. You know, just like I said, if I am mobbed, it's a lot easier for me to switch and then get that rolling cutter bonus. Now, again, all these are cheap. Basically, if you don't want to spend any money, this is the way to go. But now we have to do a little bit of testing, see how it goes. So here we are at the eggs. Basically, we're going to test damage for cross impact, just with, you know, the neutral damage, obviously with EDP. So we're looking at about 3.3 million damage. With Dark Claw, 5.8 to 6 million damage per cross impact. That's crazy. Next we'll be testing the damage for water property, because these net set of eggs are fire property. So obviously we're going to include EDP with it just to see the damage. So normally without Dark Claw, we're looking at about 5 million damage per cross impact. With Dark Claw, we're looking at about 8.7 to 9 million damage. Wow. Obviously, we can't forget switching to the Blade Katar, see how much rolling cutter damage we have. First, with the neutral egg, we're looking at about 80k, 78 to 80k per hit. That's actually pretty good. Let's try the water elemental. So between 108,000 to 122,000 per hit. That's actually not pretty bad. Fairly decent, especially if you're using it for leveling. I'd say, you know, with more cards with additional damage, we can actually get more out of it. But now what we're going to do is we're going to showcase a little bit of the damage that we have on certain instances: Room of Consciousness, Face Worm, and Geffen Magic Tournament, just to show you guys how much damage you can do with this build. And so guys, there you have it. Big damage, you know, even though you don't have any OCPs. I hope I proved my point with showing you guys that you don't need to spend any money on the game to actually have decent damage. I hope this inspires a lot of the free-to-play players, or those players who don't really want to spend any money on the game. You know, it's just a matter of putting the time into it and just gathering all the materials. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.